Today we're going to be looking at the new ADA Aquasky RGB 260 in the new box right here. Now this video is sponsored by Aquaforest here, so today we're going to be showing this new product off from ADA, the newest light, which right here, for example, I got a 60p setup right here that's empty, and we actually have the old Aquasky right here. And so we'll be able to kind of, see both of them side by side and all that, and I'll give you guys some close-ups as well. But if you guys here in the United States want any ADA products, Aquaforest is your place, or our distributor for here in the States. And so that's where you'll be getting all your ADA products. Even if you have local stores that get ADA products in, that's where they're getting them, is Aquaforest. So make sure you shop there. As always, their link to their website's always on all my videos down below. And then, of course, I have a link to this light as well in the description too. And so the big thing right off from the bat that everybody's excited with this light is ADA finally kind of getting into the app game a little bit. As we know, most lights and almost every product now has starting to get a little more smarter with the apps and just phone control altogether. And a lot of people like that, especially in lights in recent years, in the last few years, because it just takes away from digital timers, the error from that. And then of course when power goes out, there's nothing that has to be reset with app control, and so that's what makes it nice. And I personally love that too. There's lights I love that I'll always use that don't have app control yet, like Twin Star and a few other brands that I still love. But app control does make everything way easier in that aspect, just less wiring. My biggest problem is digital timers always took up so much space on the plug. So that's the number one thing with app control that's a big benefit for me personally, is just the need for no digital timer at all. And then of course, a lot of people like to change the spectrum of lighting and all that, which me personally, especially with me being a big ADA user, their spectrum is pretty much already dialed in to perfection. But the fact that other people that may not like it or want to change it, they have the ability now with this light to do that. So, but me personally, I usually just like even the old ADA Aquasky, it's a plug and play. The spectrum that already comes with this is already perfect. I mean, the reds are right there, the greens are absolutely perfect. Everything's perfect with it. But that's where this will come in hand, and I'll be able to show you guys the app and all that with it today. But over here, we're wrapping up different this year, a little bit of a slide lid, a little bit nicer. You got your normal instructions. Now, the only color that, at least at the moment, is going to be this gray. I don't know what they're calling. It's like a metallic gray or just a dark gray. I'm not sure what they're calling this name color. But I'm in love with it because this is traditional ADA gray right here. I mean, with the last light, it was kind of light gray, and then they also had a limited edition black, which was fine. Both of them look great, and especially if you got the metal stand to match with it, which I've done that setup as well before, with the pairing light to metal stand. That looked really, really sleek. But obviously, most cabinets now, most people are going with that dark hue gray, and that's especially what I do with my personal tanks. And so this coloration right here is this is perfect. This is what I would want. And I love this color, so it's gonna be a big difference maker for sure. And then for people like me that have the darker stands, it's gonna finally look pretty good matched up together. And of course, if you're in an area where you can actually get access to ADA stands, even better, because this light's gonna pair perfect with it. And so, yeah, it looks like I just noticed here myself that actually it looks like the power cord here can actually twist right off, which is actually kind of cool too. That's nice to be able to remove that there. And the biggest difference with this light physically, before I get in, the rest is just cords and stuff like that, so I'll get open to that, but we'll go ahead and just talk about the light real quick. We got your normal connection. Looks like a little bit nicer connection this time around, a little more grippier connection. That actually looks really nice, as a stainless coupling over there. And then, yeah, lighting wise, I'm trying to see, it looks pretty much from the bottom standpoint, it looks about the same, but we'll know when we turn it on. I've seen a few videos on this just to kind of prepare myself, and it looks like they're pretty on par, but we'll definitely take a look at that for sure in person today. And then the other thing is really the vents on top. Now the top should be about the same, but the difference maker, and I'll show you guys this up close when we actually put them side by side, but the biggest difference is it has this new vent on the side as well. If you guys can see that, so it's a little slit right there, so airflow can get through the sides as well. That should be a lot better. Now that I don't think this light ever got hot for me. I mean, even with this one on right now, I mean, just like an old LED, I mean, it gets heat up pretty pretty good. But I don't know if I just don't know if this ever had problems at all. I don't think it did, at least the last version of this. But either way, I mean, you can't not have enough, you know, airflow through lights. So even if there is or wasn't a problem, it's still good to, you know, have that extra airflow this time around. So that looks really nice. And then the design aspect from the side view too, pretty much all the same. The only difference is the side, instead of, so before the side railings, I guess you want to call them, come down inside the tank. And that was always kind of a problem for me too. It wasn't like a big deal for me, but they would get gross over time, and they was like, it just wasn't like the best design in the world, at least from that aspect from the railing. This year, this is be way nicer now. Now it actually extends on from the right side, if you can see that. So now it's going to be, the side that sticks down is actually going to be from the outside of the tank, which is going to be way better. So now pretty much, unless you really fill up your tank, no water is not going to get underneath that. No water is going to touch that. So that keeps this nice. Because I know some people, you know, long periods of time, if you really fill up your tanks like I do, that could, you know, kind of corrode over time a little bit. Most ADA stuff does pretty good with water. That's what makes them so great, especially all their stainless stuff. It all takes water pretty well at the end of the day. But, you know, when you can prevent it as simple as little things like this makes a world of difference. And it's just going to make the light look a lot cleaner too, in my opinion. And then you got the ADA logo right on top again. And I think that's pretty much and then yeah, same as the last edition. You got the ADA on the side rail too. Really, really nice. But yeah, let's see what else is in the box. Let's see here. And the box is a little bit different this time. It comes a little bit nicer of a unboxing experience as well. So let's see here. I'll show you so you guys open up. Just got look about 4 boxes here, so we'll just kind of see what this is together. Looks like this bigger one, about the power brick, right about here. It looks about the same as the last one. It has a little bit different design on it, but about the same overall. Then we got the next biggest box. Oh, this is different. So as last time we had the little turn off switch, now it has a bigger ADA one like this. So this is a dedicated controller right here. So that's really nice. That looks really cool. And some people may or may not like, you know, a big bulky like turn switch like this, but I actually really like it because what's really cool about this is with the ADA logo in the front. Knowing me, this is what I would do. I'd actually mount this real nicely in the stand, and then you got an easy, really nicely click button that you can put under the stand for off and on. So that's actually really cool. I really like that. I did not know this came with it. Did not see that. Okay. Now we got these 2 skinny boxes here. We'll see what these are. Just need more cords. Yep, so that'll be your actual plug into your outlet. Let's see what our last one is. Oh, okay. This is really cool. So these are actually, I have to figure out what these stickers. Oh, okay. So these are going to be stickers for the bottom of the, so actually going right into the rails again. So these stickers will actually go right underneath the rail, so it looks like it raises up a little bit so it doesn't actually touch the water line. Really nice right there. That'll be really helpful. There is actually a almost like a SIM key right there. That may open up something on the light, I'm not sure of, but basically just more maintenance stuff. And this is really cool. I really like this. They actually include a little brush this time around for cleaning probably the tops and whatever vents you want. So that's really cool because, yeah, even something like this for the Solar RGBs would be really cool because they do get really dusty. And on the top of this, so that's really cool. So that's a really cool addition this time around. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. So that stuff. So I'm gonna put this. We'll shove this light a little further back. And we'll put this one right in front. That. So yeah, I won't put on any of the stickers or nothing like that. I'll save that. But yeah, just initial fit. Yeah, it looks really really nice. Fits literally perfect. Actually, the side rails too are a little bit skinnier than last year's, and they're slightly more at an angle too. So it just looks a lot nicer, a little more slim. It's not as bulky. Like I said, the first version really didn't bother me at all, but now seeing this next to it, it's like a night and day difference. This is really really nice. So we'll get the cords unwrapped here and plug it in. And then I have to go get, I'll have to actually go get my, I'll get a tablet because I'm recording on my phone. And I'll download the app and we'll kind of do a walkthrough of the app with you guys. Alright. Yeah, and then the cords itself are actually a lot different. They're like a matte, like really like a soft rubber. But yeah, it's a really, really nice cord here. And then this is the stainless, I was talking about. So a lot better connection. And it looks like because these connections, they can get kind of scary. I've seen people jam them and stuff like that. So it looks like this time around it's going to be a lot easier to connect all these cords together. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and connect these cords together. Let's see if I can just hook some up real quick. So this, so I don't want to show you guys too much of just me putting cords in, but except there's a lot of new stuff here. So obviously that goes in there. That's where you're going to plug in. And then obviously this will go into the new 88 controller, just like that. And then you got your other connection that will go into your new stainless sleeve, and that inside there stainless as well. It's really nice. I really do like the new look of that. There, you got that connection. And then boom, you got a tight connection there, so that looks really cool. And then let's go ahead and turn it on here and see if it just initially comes on, and then we can play with the app. Okay, we got it all plugged in. Let's see here. See, like shining green here. So now we're gonna click this, which is turning green, and it's slowly coming on right now. So actually, I'm gonna get you guys up close and actually see you guys, so you guys can see it turning on. Okay, so here's the controller here. So we just click that on, and then you can see all the spectrum coming on. So just like 88 light, it's gonna be really green at first, and then it's gonna slowly heat up to that white. Or at least it's gonna look all white once all the colors start coming in. So yeah, it looks like, the LED wise it's about the same. It actually stretches more. So it actually looks like the spread's a little bit better. That's really nice. So you can see how the old one stops, I would say about 2 inches before the end of the light. And so now you can see it actually extends all the way. So that's a really big improvement. From my perspective, I'd have to actually test the part too, which this will not be the last video on this light at all. I will do some part testing and stuff like that once like I can set up this like personal 60p here just so I can test these lights out. And so, but just visually, yeah, the new one actually looks brighter too. It looks a lot nicer. The LEDs are a lot more spread out too, not just from the sides, but just in general. You can see like underneath from these how close these are on these ones. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna give a lot better spread this time around. So. A lot better. And here's an over top view as well, so you can actually see. So you see the connections here. You can see the screws were exposed here, so it's just a little more cleaner design. You can see the new vent holes or slots, you want to call it, are here. You can actually see that overall the light is actually longer than the last one, as you can see. And that's obviously the more LEDs kind of make it spread out too, so it's a little bit longer. But then, yeah, like I said, it's not as bulky. It's a little bit taller actually, just ever so slightly. You can just see, just maybe like a couple. If you stack a couple pennies together, it's maybe that much taller. And then the strip here is a little bit more skinnier. Just overall, like I said, like it's just a lot cleaner altogether. I really like it. You could see. Oh, this is a big difference too with the vents. You can see how these are kind of. This is more of a design. There's actually really wasn't any vents because this is more of just a design aspect. This really wasn't vents at all. But you can see this time around, this actually goes all the way through. So basically, if you have a solar RGB already, that's basically how this one's designed in that aspect. So all the grills are really nice. So a lot more flow is going to go through, looks like this newer version for sure. So I'll have to definitely let you know, like if I do an update and I start comparing, I'll definitely let you know in the next clip, in another video, if this heats up as bad. But I mean, just initial, I mean, this one's been on obviously since the beginning of the video, and it's warm. Obviously you could touch it. It's not like burning or nothing. It's just warm. And this one's actually stayed cold. But again, this hasn't been on long at all, so we'll see how this does over time. But yeah, it feels really nice. I will say, like, the metal feel between this one and this one's like night and day. Like this just feels more expensive. Like for these being about the same price point as they were, again, not saying this one was ever bad, but now seeing this one, this is like this is more worth, you know, the $500 you're going to pay for this light. This one's just that premium ADA feel. Like I said, it's literally like the same material as the Solar RGBs. They feel a lot nicer. They look a lot nicer. So, and like I said, the color wise, I'm not sure if they'll ever come out, you know, just like Solar RGB, they did some white versions, some black versions. I'm sure they may come out with some limited colors. Of course, they have in the past couple years, so we'll see what they come out with this one. And even then, like the metal stand that they had matching with the last, you know, these last edition lights, maybe they'll create a dark gray metal stand as well. I'm not sure what's in the books for all that, but I'm hoping they do create something that matches that pretty well. But I'm assuming the people that don't want the metal stand, that's why they made this dark gray, to not only match their other products already, but because their stands are traditionally this dark gray, that's why they're going with this newer lighting color in general. So that's probably where they're going with it at all. But I think it'd be pretty cool. I really do like the metal stands too, so it'd be cool if they actually make a metal stand in this color as well. But yeah, the only thing they do now is to show you guys the app. And so I know this video is really long, but I really wanted to showcase this light pretty well. And so if you guys want to stick around and see kind of how the app works, yeah, definitely stay for that. So I got the app all situated here. So I'm in the Play Store. I'm using Android, but it's called ADA Controller on Apple. I'm pretty sure it's called the same thing, but you'll see with the ADA logo on there regardless, so you'll know that's the right thing. So it'll pop up like this. And then it looks like there's a demo mode and then add new devices. So we'll go to add new devices. And then, so this is kind of new for me too, because obviously there's never been ADA really products with apps, and this is the, you know, kind of the first generation of this stuff. So I'm going to be just as new as you guys this. So it says turn on the device and press start scanning button. So obviously I do have the new light on, so it's already plugged in, so we push start. And it looks like it already pretty much found it on the top here. So it says device name, Aquarium 1. Obviously if you want to name it 8860p, or if you have a certain name for your scape, you know, etc., etc., we'll just keep it blank for now, because obviously I don't know what exactly eventually I'm going to do with this light, so I'm just going to keep it unnamed for now. Oh, it looks like we do have to put a name, so we'll just go ahead and put 60p. You guys can see. So it just asks for a name, and then it says Aquarium 1, so obviously if you had multiple tanks, you could kind of categorize them. So going to push register. So it says, so now it pops up. So now he had multiple, which I'm hoping you guys can. Let me actually switch. There we go. Let me switch one of my lights off so it can kind of focus here. So yeah, so basically this page will show all your aquariums. So I imagine if you had more than one tank, there'd be these tabs going down, so it would just add more and more tanks, and you could have a whole list of tanks if you really had a bunch of ADA lights. Looks like you can refresh down here, and then it got settings, so we're just going to go ahead and click on 60p. Let's see here. Okay. So now it says 87%, so it shows power on. Which is, so I'll kind of get you guys closer for that, but when I turn it on, it basically slowly started dimming it down. So obviously with the ADAs, they ramp up really slow and ramp down really slow for the LEDs to light up. So if you want to, let's see here. So I'll show you guys kind of from a back view here. Hopefully you guys can still kind of see that. But I'm going to lift the tank up. So this is the manual power button, like I said. So you can see it slowly turning on like that. Of course, it's going to be like really green, then it's going to slowly get more and more white as the spectrum comes in. And just like that. So that's pretty cool. So like I said, just like, and if you've had apps for lights in the past for certain stuff on certain tanks, you know, you got O&F apps, you got even Ecotech, AI, all those lights, they all have apps, and so it's going to be pretty similar, you know, situation here. So you get a power button, so you got brightness. So you guys can probably see in the camera that going up. So actually it was at 87%, so it wasn't even at full power. So now that's 100%. So that's really nice because obviously with most ADA tanks and lights combos, like that's what's so good about ADA, and that's what you pay for, is that instant, basically the guessing game that you don't have with ADA is they already figured it out for you. You know, most of these companies, they give you so much adjustability because they don't know what you're going to do with their lights. If you're going to put them on what size tank, how depth of a tank. Now, of course, ADA, you can essentially put their products on any tank as well. But what's so good about ADA is they definitely specialize their products, that if you're going to get their tank and their products, their lights, their filtration, it's all perfectly optimized for that tank size. Now, it's still, again, depending on the scapes and depending on the plant choice you do, it's still, that's where this app comes really nice, because say if you just have epiphytics, you know, just Nubius, Boost Flanger tank, something like that. What's nice about this now is that you can dim it down if need to. But in general, if you're just going for a nature tank, you know, traditional ADA style, this light's gonna be pretty much perfect out of the box. And just like the last version one, it's already perfect out of the box, just like the Solar RGBs. Any ADA product is pretty much good to go out of the box, and that's what's so nice, and that's what I love, is the guessing game is gone, and you're paying for quality, and you're paying for the time that it may take the next person to adjust their light for the next 2 months and figure out what's right. So let's go back to the app now. Go to the fun part now. So that was just a manual. So now there's timer. So it looks like, so people are probably wondering, changing the color spectrum. So yeah, so there's these little tabs down here. So you got the power button. So this is where you can set the timer. So just traditional, it's in military time, so it goes all the way to 1800. So yeah, you can just, that's really nice. So really easy, just dialogue timer there. Or like I said, there's the manual. And then now, there's these 3 little circles, kind of looks like the Olympic sign. Now you can change the color spectrum. Now this is what everybody's going to love. This is what everybody's been wanting from ADA. Again, in my personal opinion, the ADA color spectrum is already near perfect, if not perfect in general. But people like to mess with the color spectrum depending on your plants. You know, some people have boost only tanks and they want to really brighten up those boosters for certain colorations. And so this is where, for those people, this is going to be really cool for them. So up here we have a RGB natural and then a preset. So it looks like preset, we have nature aquarium, planetarium, sunlight, and moonlight. So if we want to, so that's moonlight. I'm not gonna lie, it looks, obviously I don't really use moonlight, most people don't, that aquascape, but that does look pretty cool with the light screen, I'm not gonna lie. And we got sunlight, which actually has a little more of an orange to it. I would say that's probably about like 6,000 Kelvin, 5,000. It's a little bit on the lower side, so it has a little more yellowish to it, a little bit sun there. Planetarium. So it looks like planetarium. I'm trying to see. Yeah, so planetarium has more of like a blue spectrum in there. It's a little bit more dimmer too. Again, like I'd have to actually set that on a planetarium to really actually see exactly what that would do to some of the plants. But I'm sure that's optimized to make the plants look as best as possible. And then you got nature tank, which is you're pretty traditional. That's about your like 7,000 Kelvin right there, 6,500. And then you get your natural, and this is your color temperature right here. So yeah, I was actually right. So 6,500 was the nature, and then obviously that's kind of like the sunlight. So the sunlight was probably around there, like 5,000, 5,500. Just had a little more yellow in it. But of course, you can go down to 4,000. It looks like that, and then you can go all the way up to 20,000, which is obviously that'd be like reef tank, which honestly, I'm not saying you can't grow a reef in this, but that'd be pretty freaking sweet if somebody could actually do a reef tank in a 6P with this light. I wish I had the money to just experiment and do something like that. That'd be really cool, I think. But yeah, it does go all the way to 20K. So if you really, like I said, that's what most reef lights go to. That bluish tint, and then we also have tint, which that's kind of new. So do something like that. So it looks like just based off whatever color spectrum you're on, you can kind of just adjust the tint and all that. So again, not really my thing, but like I love that it's a thing. And then same deal. You have brightness that you can change, and then what I'm guessing is you can save that as a preset. and then that's gonna, so once you save that, then it's gonna come into this page, and then you can have your own preset already in here. And then when you connect your other lights, you can already have that preset on there. You know, you can name it Boost a Flanger Tank. You know, you can name it for whatever that spectrum is used for. So that's really nice. And then RGB, so that's just like this. Basically, you can go around and just do whatever color spectrum you want. Do pink, every color you can imagine. And then same deal. If you create a certain color spectrum, you can also save it and put it into your presets as well. So let's see what else there is. I think that's about it. So let's click on 60p again. I just want to see what the settings are. So the settings, let's see. So just your name, device name, and then there's actually a soft lighting. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see that, but there's a soft lighting mode. My guess would be when it first turns on, it says the duration right here, so it starts at 15 seconds and goes all the way to 60 seconds. So what I'm guessing is you can pretty much make the light slowly turn on up to 60 seconds, so it's actually a little bit gradual. Actually, let's go ahead and play with that. So it's 60 seconds, or I set it at 60 seconds, and this will show me if that's what it actually does or not. So let's go to manual and turn this off. Only bad thing, it then takes a little bit to turn off. Okay, so it definitely does. So actually it does that for the turn off as well. So that is correct. So it's basically the duration of the turn off. And so it's also going to turn it off that way and also turn it on at that duration. So that's really, really cool. So yeah, pretty much it's going to take 60 seconds to turn off and 60 seconds to turn on, which I really like that. I'd probably personally set that at the highest naturally anyway. Just so you don't shock any of your fish mostly. So that's a really cool. So yeah, you can still see it's like, it just barely just keeps slowly and turning off. So that's really, really cool. So that's the app. Like I said, this video is really long, but I just really wanted to, you know, show the light off up and close and all that, and then also really give you guys an extra 10 minutes or so just showing you guys the app and really what it looks like. And of course, if you guys have questions you can head down below, and also on Instagram, and I can also show you guys anything you need if you have any questions and all that. Like I said, if you want any of your ADA products here in the United States, go to Aquaforce. Their link's always going to be down below in my description. I'll put the description for this light if you also want to check it out. Again, let me know if there's any more questions on this light that you want to know. Stay tuned to the next video. The next video will be on the newest metal pipes as well. I was going to do them both in the same video, but I knew this light was going to take up most of its time, so I just wanted to keep those as separate. So hope you guys enjoy this light, and I hope this is a new step to ADA, and hopefully we see the same with the solar RGB eventually. I think that'd be really, really cool. Like I said, it's I love for other people that this is starting to become a thing for ADA, because that's everybody's biggest complaint is it costs so much money, has no app control and all this. And then it's always the build quality, and it's always the easiness of the ADA products that I always have to defend for it, which is always true. But now I can finally say that there is app control with the ADA products. Not all of them yet, but I'm hoping the solar RGB and other lights of ADA and other products in general are going to slowly start being more app controlled, and that's just going to make ADA jump to that next level that much more, and make them they're already the best company, the best products, and I'll just make them that much more already. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you have questions, just let me know. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one.